Harper Business and Harper Audio present Executive Presence 2.0, Leadership in an Age of Inclusion by Sylvia Ann Hewlett. Read by Rosalind Ashford. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains charts and diagrams from the book. To the amazing young adults at the center of my life, Shira, Alex, Lisa, Barry, David, Luana, Adam, RB, and Emma. You've taught me most of what I know about authenticity, inclusivity, and how to show up in this world in 2023. Introduction. My first run-in with Executive Presence, EP, occurred when I was 17. I was in the second year of the sixth form at my grammar school in the UK and applying for the ultimate reach schools, Oxford and Cambridge. I'd gotten a certain distance, having passed the rigorous entrance examinations, but was now facing a round of interviews. I anticipated a rough time. I knew enough about the world to understand that I came from the wrong background, Welsh working class. And my knees knocked and I broke out in a cold sweat at the mere thought of facing the scrutiny of Oxbridge dons. I feared they would size me up and decide I did not have it, which of course they had in spades. Seeing my distress and eager to be helpful, my mum volunteered to dress me for my first interview at St. Anne's College, Oxford. She'd read a ton of Nancy Mitford novels and thought she knew what kind of clothes the upper crust wore. I didn't push back. I knew I was clueless. I'd grown up in a backwater coal mining community and had few clothes and no social graces. I was eager for help. Having battled huge odds to pass the entrance tests, I knew that this interview was the only thing standing between me and a coveted place at one of the most distinguished universities in Europe. And I had a good shot. Half of those interviewed got a place. I just had to figure out how to look the part of someone who moved in the right circles. So early one December morning we hit the winter clearance sales, rising at the crack of dawn so that we would be at the head of the herd storming C&A, a department store in Cardiff, Wales. And did we score? In the sales racks of the ladies' suits department, my mum found exactly what she was looking for, a nubby tweed suit with a fox collar. And I don't mean the collar was made out of fox fur, I mean the collar was a fox. Or most of a fox. The tail was a big feature. You were supposed to fling it around your neck as extra protection against the winter cold. And then there were 2 beady eyes and 2 sets of claws. As might be expected, my Oxford interview was a disaster. The admissions committee was gobsmacked. I literally took their breath away. They simply did not know what to make of a 17-year-old who wore a fox and seemed to be trying to look like the Queen Mother, especially since this particular 17-year-old spoke English with a thick, working-class Welsh accent. More on that in Chapter 3. I did not get in, and was devastated. But it was hard to blame my mum. She had tried so hard. To my great relief, I got a second shot at my dream. A month later, I learned that I'd also passed the Cambridge entrance examinations. In those days, the 2 top universities in the UK crafted their own rigorous tests. I was invited to go for an interview. I told my mother that she was off the case. This time I was dressing myself. Remembering the look of the other female candidates at Oxford, I borrowed a pleated skirt and a simple sweater from a friend and ironed my unruly...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?